Why this 1-inch piece of glass costs $350 million. Everything in your life, your phone, your car, your bank account, exists because of one piece of glass you've never heard of. It's not big, just 1 inch thick, but it costs more than 3 Boeing 747s combined, and only one company on Earth knows how to make it. Without this single component, the entire global tech industry collapses overnight. Every chip manufacturer, every AI system, every smartphone factory, gone. This is the story of the most important monopoly in human history. Welcome to the invisible choke point of modern civilization. Inside a sterile room in the Netherlands sits something extraordinary. It's called an EUV lithography machine, and it's the most complex device humans have ever manufactured. Each one costs $350 million, takes 40 freight containers to ship, weighs as much as a fully loaded passenger jet. But here's what's insane. The entire machine exists to serve one single component. A piece of glass so precise, so impossibly perfect, that if you scaled it up to the size of Germany, the largest imperfection would be smaller than a millimeter. This is the lens, and it's made by only one company, Carl Zeiss in Germany. Not Taiwan, not Korea, not America. A single German optics company controls the technological fate of every nation on Earth. Let's talk about why this piece of glass is worth more than a skyscraper. Modern computer chips are built using light. You shine light through patterns onto silicon wafers, essentially printing microscopic circuits over and over again. But there's a problem. The circuits we need today are impossibly small. We're talking about transistors measured in nanometers, thousands of times thinner than a human hair. Regular light can't print anything that small. The wavelength is too big. It's like trying to draw fine details with a thick marker. So engineers found a solution. Use smaller light. Extreme ultraviolet light, EUV. Wavelength of just 13 nanometers. But here's where physics becomes a nightmare. Normal glass doesn't work with EUV light. The light gets absorbed instantly. You can't just shine it through a lens like a regular camera. So Zeiss had to invent something completely different. Not a lens that light passes through, but a mirror system that bounces light with atomic-level precision. Inside each ASML machine are dozens of these mirrors, each one polished to within 1/50th of a nanometer. That's smoother than anything else humans have ever created. If these mirrors were the size of North America, the biggest bump would be less than 1 millimeter tall. This level of precision doesn't just happen. It takes Zeiss over 3 years to manufacture a single lens system. 3 years for one component, in one machine. The mirrors are made from a special ultra-low expansion glass that barely changes size when temperature shifts. Even a nanometer of thermal expansion ruins everything. Each mirror gets coated with over 100 alternating layers of silicon and molybdenum, each layer just a few atoms thick. Then comes the polishing, using ion beams, atom by atom, for months. One speck of dust, one vibration, one tiny mistake, and you start over, from scratch. Another year gone. This is why Zeiss is the only company that can do this. It's not just difficult, it's at the absolute edge of physical possibility. Now here's where it gets geopolitical. These lenses only go into ASML machines. ASML is the only company that makes EUV lithography systems. Here's the economics that make this even stranger. ASML's machines cost $350 million each, but chip manufacturers buy them instantly. No negotiation, no hesitation. Why? Because each machine can produce chips worth billions. TSMC pays $350 million for a machine that generates over $1 billion in revenue per year. The ROI is insane, if you can get one. The waiting list is years long. Countries negotiate access. Politicians get involved. This isn't a normal market. This is strategic resource allocation. Like oil in the 1970s, but more concentrated. and Zeiss sits quietly at the center, making these impossible lenses while the world nervously watches. You've probably never heard of them. They don't advertise. They don't need to. There are maybe 10 companies on Earth that can afford their product. But those 10 companies make the chips that run everything else. So next time you use your phone, think about the hidden dependency chain, the precision required, the single points of failure. Modern civilization runs on sand turned into silicon, using light bent by impossible glass, made by one company in one country. And if that supply chain breaks, we all find out just how fragile progress really is. That's the $350 million piece of glass, the most important object